Hello, welcome to my video. Today I'm going to be showing you how to make these teeny tiny little mini wind spinners. These are really super cute. They're perfect for little Christmas tree decorations or for hanging on your rearview mirror of your car, anywhere really. Just little teeny tiny mini ones, and even if you were to make like them in rainbow colours and make yourself a little garland with them, they'd look really sweet in front of a window. On mine I've just attached a little pre-made pom-pom, but of course you can add any decoration that you like. I've made mine using a cotton acrylic blend of yarn, so it's quite a thin yarn, but it's still a double knit weight. But it's just that little bit slimmer than a standard acrylic. Making that, I've used a 3mm crochet hook, and obviously you're going to need a pair of scissors also. If you want to make it even tinier, you could use like a 4-ply yarn, or even thinner. You could go with like an embroidery floss, and of course you can go down in size in your crochet hook. But for demonstration purposes and for today, I'm going to be using the 3mm. And we're going to be making a little spinner with a chain of 30. So to begin, what you're going to do is you're going to start by making a slip knot. If you don't know how to do this, on my YouTube channel I've got a playlist called Crochet Basics, and on there is a really nice slow tutorial on how to make one of those. So we've got our slip knot and we're going to make a chain of 30. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 22, 23, 24, 25, 29 and 30, and then we're going to add one for our turning chain. It doesn't have to be exact, you don't have to be precise, it's just I find that going up in the tens makes them easier to keep track of. Okay, so we've got our 30 plus our 1 to turn. Then starting in the second chain from the hook, so not this first one here, into the second chain, we're going to work 2 single crochets. So I'm explaining this pattern in US terms. For anyone that uses UK terms, that would be 2 double crochets, and we're going to work 2 double crochets or 2 single crochets into each chain all the way along, until we get to the end. Okay, so if you continue doing that, I will meet you back here when we've finished that one. Now we're at the end of round 1. You should have something that looks like this. Don't worry if it's not a perfect spiral, that's perfectly normal. I will show you how to shape that one later in the video. So we've come to the end of our 30 chains and we've worked 2 single crochets into each stitch. Now what we're going to do for round 2 is we're going to make a chain of 1 and turn our work, so we're facing the back, and then into each stitch we're going to work 3 half double crochets. Okay, remember that's in US terms. In UK terms that would be 3 half treble crochets, and that's into each stitch all the way down. So 3 half double crochets or half treble crochets into each stitch all the way down to the end, and I will meet you back at the end of round 2 when you've completed that. That's the end of round 2. So we've worked 3 half double crochets into each single crochet space. Now to finish this round, we're going to make a chain of 1 and turn our work, and for the third and final round we are simply going to slip stitch into the top of each half double crochet all the way along until we get back to the top of our wind spinner, and this just helps stiffen the edges off and helps the spinner to keep its shape while it's hanging. Okay, so that's just 1 slip stitch into each of our half double crochets. Continue to do that and I will meet you back at the end of round 3. Now we've reached the end of round 3 and our wind spinner body is complete. I've just cut off my yarn tail and kept it nice and long. Again, if you pull your yarn tail through your loop and pull it tight, that helps secure your final stitch there and stops that coming out so easily. Obviously, we're now going to shape our spinner because obviously it's not going to spin very nicely sitting like that. So to do so, it's really very simple. You take the top of your spinner and you want to shape each individual level into a circle. Okay, so like that. So basically we're doing little pancakes or little coasters stacked on top of each other like that. Okay, so we need to keep working each layer around, following the edge of the previous circle. You can turn it in your hand if that makes life easier. It doesn't matter which direction you go, just follow the spinner around. Okay, and it seems a little bit never ending, but eventually it just all of a sudden it just clicks in with itself, and then you have a nice neat little pile of wind spinner layers. You grab your tail out from the top, and then if you pop it on a hard surface and give it a push down just to help squeeze everything into shape, and then if you are to pull up, you will see that you now have what looks like your little spinner. So what you need to do now, just to finish off, is you need to take your yarn tail here, and you can either use a needle or just your hook and weave it in along the width of your spinner spirals, if you like, to get down to here, which is where our center chain begins. Okay, so where your very first chain, the chain of 30 that we did in the beginning, you want to weave your tail down into the middle there, otherwise you'll be hanging your spinner from that bit there, and obviously it just doesn't hang so nicely. So if you want it to hang nicely, work your way down several stitches down into the starting chain where it naturally wants to sort of sit. Okay, and then so that's where your tail would be there, and then of course on the bottom you can add another tail and add some decorations to it, or you can leave it plain like that. Some little pom-poms or a mini tassel would be really cute. I'm also planning to make some for my own Christmas tree, and I'm going to pop some little bells on the bottom, which I think would be really sweet for our Christmas tree this year. Yes, so there you go. That's the little mini wind spinner. There's lots of different uses for these, lots of different projects and things. I'm sure people with some really good imagination could have a whale of a time with that. Okay, so that's how you do your mini wind spinner. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. If you did, pop a like down at the bottom on my video, because this helps it be seen by others, and it also helps me to keep providing you with free tutorials. And if you're not already, do hit the subscribe button and you'll be kept up to date with my latest releases and new content that's coming out your way. Thanks again for watching, guys, and I'll see you again soon.